Hello, my name is Kali Thorne Ladd. I'm Executive Director here at KairosPDX, and I'm bringing to you today a little soundbite around the science of success. Why science? Well, I'm not a scientist or a neuroscientist, but what I love about neuroscience is that it explains how the brain works. And understanding how the brain works helps us understand how children learn and thrive. And what I care most deeply about is ensuring all children are able to be successful. Today's soundbite is from our friends over at ACEs and research that they did. ACEs stands for Adverse Childhood Experiences. And the ACEs folks did a study years ago that looked at how adverse experiences impact the brain and how trauma impacts the brain. It's really relevant right now because we are, as a nation and a world, going through a huge adverse experience with COVID-19 pandemic. And it's important to me that you understand how this impacts your child's brain. So what the research tells us is that, yes, this is an adverse event, and it could map in our children's brain as trauma. And we know that when children's brains are impacted by trauma, it breaks down neural connections. It leads to long-term consequences that can be negative. But there is good and redemptive news in all of this, and that's what I'm excited to share with you. The brain can map this big event as a trauma, but it also can build resiliency in children. And by intervening as we can, and we are able to disrupt the mapping of this traumatic event as a trauma and actually register it as something that strengthens our brain through resiliency. And so, what I want to let you know is that though this is a negative experience, the way that we disrupt this is quite simple. Positive experiences have to outpace the negative experiences. And what the research says is most important on the positive experience side is to create opportunities for care and connection. Those two things, care and connection, they are like superheroes that disrupt this huge adverse event from mapping in our children's brains as a trauma. How do you exemplify, how do you show care and connection? Well, care is simple and you do it every day. And whether it's you or another adult in your child's life, it's just asking children, how are they doing? How are they feeling? Do they miss their friends? Simple conversations to show that you care about them. And the connection piece is equally as simple, though it takes a little bit of time. And I know that time is not what we have a lot of these days. This hasn't just impacted our children, but it's impacted our lives. This is a big deal. We're dealing with loss. We're dealing with chaos. But what I would ask of you is to find 30 minutes a day, just 30 minutes. You turn off the TV, you turn off all of the social media, all of the media background. You just laser-like focus on your child, no disruptions, and you just spend time with them. 30 minutes of undivided attention, phones off, news off, everything off, and you focus on your child. Care and connection are the two positive experiences that children need to experience every day so that this adverse event does not map in their brain as trauma, but rather maps in their brain, registers in their brain right now as something that they can overcome, an experience that they can be resilient in. And what's awesome about how our brain works is that when we are able to do this, when we are able to build the threads and the neural connections around resiliency, this doesn't just help us now, but it helps us down the road. It helps us every time our children experience other negative events. It strengthens the brain. It strengthens their decision making. And so join with me in taking this science soundbite and applying it in your home with your children. I thank you for your time, and I look forward to bringing you more neuroscience and little tidbits of information that can help you help your child succeed. Thanks so much.